When the world's fastest woman gets arrested for domestic violence, you'd expect her boyfriend to run for the hills. Especially when that boyfriend is also a world champion sprinter with his own reputation to protect. But Christian Coleman's response to Sha'Carri Richardson's arrest left the entire athletics world speechless. Instead of damage control or silence, Coleman stepped in front of cameras and said something that no one saw coming. Something that revealed the true nature of their relationship and changed how fans viewed both athletes forever. His words were so unexpected, so raw, and so different from typical celebrity responses that social media exploded within hours. What did Christian Coleman say that stunned millions of fans? And why did his response spark the biggest conversation in track and field this year? The answer reveals a side of elite athletics that most people never see. To understand why Coleman's statement shocked everyone, you need to know what happened that weekend at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. Richardson and Coleman were traveling together when witnesses saw what the New York Post described as a fiery argument escalating out of control. Multiple travelers watched as Richardson pushed Coleman several times while he tried to walk away from the confrontation. Airport security intervened, and despite Coleman declining to press charges or be named as a victim, Richardson was arrested and charged with fourth-degree domestic violence assault. She spent the night in custody before being released the next morning. For any celebrity couple, this would be devastating. But for two of the world's most recognizable track stars, both with lucrative sponsorship deals and global reputations, the incident threatened to destroy everything they'd built. Richardson is the reigning world champion over 100 meters and one of the most marketable athletes in the sport. Coleman is a former world champion and Olympic gold medalist who holds multiple world records. The athletics community held its breath, waiting to see how the couple would handle the fallout. Most expected Coleman to distance himself, issue a carefully crafted statement through lawyers, or simply disappear from public view until the controversy died down. That's the typical playbook when domestic violence allegations surface. Instead, Coleman did something completely different. 3 days after the arrest, in a video shared by Sidious Mag on Instagram, Coleman looked directly into the camera and spoke from the heart about what he called a sucky situation all around. His first words immediately set a tone no one expected. Coleman said he didn't believe Richardson should have been arrested. But then he said something that revealed the depth of their relationship and his understanding of human complexity. He acknowledged that Richardson has things she needs to work on for herself, but then added the phrase that stunned everyone listening. Coleman said, "But so do I. So do you, everybody." In that moment, he refused to position himself as a victim or Richardson as a villain. Instead, he acknowledged that every person struggles with personal issues and that growth is a universal human need. The simplicity and honesty of that statement caught everyone off guard. But Coleman wasn't finished. He explained his approach to the entire situation using 3 words that no one expected from a professional athlete dealing with public controversy. He said he chooses to respond with grace, mercy, and love. Not anger, not revenge, not self-protection, but grace, mercy, and love. The impact of those words was immediate and overwhelming. Social media erupted with reactions ranging from admiration to skepticism. Some users praised Coleman's mature and supportive response, calling his heart pure and commending his refusal to abandon Richardson during her lowest moment. Others questioned whether his response was enabling bad behavior or missing potential red flags in the relationship. The controversy revealed a fundamental divide in how people view relationships, accountability, and forgiveness. Some fans argued that domestic violence should never be minimized or excused, regardless of gender. They worried that Coleman's support might send the wrong message about acceptable behavior in relationships. Other fans saw Coleman's response as a model of unconditional love and support during crisis. They pointed out that he never excused Richardson's behavior, but instead demonstrated how couples can navigate serious problems together while still holding each other accountable for growth. What made Coleman's statement even more remarkable was the timing and context surrounding their athletic careers. Just weeks before the airport incident, both athletes had committed to competing at the Stawell Gift in Australia, one of the most unique races in professional athletics. The event features handicap racing on grass, where the fastest runners start from scratch, while slower competitors get head starts based on their ability. Richardson had made headlines during the pre-race media coverage by calling the competition glorified practice and confidently predicting she would win despite the unusual format. Her bold statements and charismatic personality had generated massive international attention for the small Victorian town hosting the race. The domestic dispute threatened to overshadow everything. Sponsors, race organizers, and media outlets all faced difficult decisions about how to handle the controversy. Some called for Richardson to be banned from competing, while others argued that the legal system should run its course before athletic consequences were imposed. Coleman's public support of Richardson during this period added another layer of complexity to an already difficult situation. His willingness to stand by her publicly while acknowledging the need for personal growth demonstrated a nuanced understanding of relationships that is rare in the spotlight of professional sports. The couple's decision to continue their planned trip to Australia and compete at Stawell became a statement in itself. Rather than hiding from the controversy, they faced it head-on while fulfilling their professional commitments. Richardson's performance on the grass track in Stawell, running from the scratch mark alongside Coleman, became one of the most watched races in the event's long history. But Coleman's statement resonated far beyond the athletics world. Relationship experts and social media commentators dissected every word, trying to understand what his response revealed about modern relationships and conflict resolution. Some praised his emotional intelligence and maturity, while others questioned whether his approach was naive or potentially harmful. The phrase about everyone needing to work on themselves became particularly viral, with thousands of social media users sharing and discussing the idea that personal growth is universal rather than limited to those who make mistakes. This perspective challenged the typical narrative around public controversies, where one person is labeled the victim and another the perpetrator. Coleman's emphasis on grace, mercy, and love also sparked conversations about forgiveness and second chances in an era of cancel culture. His willingness to extend these qualities to Richardson, even after a public incident that embarrassed them both, demonstrated a level of commitment that surprised many observers. The long-term implications of Coleman's response continue to unfold. Some sponsors initially distanced themselves from both athletes following the arrest, but others doubled down on their support after seeing how the couple handled the crisis together. The athletics community remains divided on whether Coleman's approach represents healthy relationship dynamics or problematic enabling. What remains undeniable is that Coleman's statement fundamentally changed how fans view both athletes. Richardson, previously seen primarily as a talented but sometimes controversial figure, gained new depth through her boyfriend's willingness to see her as a complete person capable of growth. Coleman, already respected for his athletic achievements, earned admiration for his emotional maturity and relationship skills. The entire episode revealed how professional athletes navigate personal crises under intense public scrutiny. Most celebrities rely on crisis management teams and carefully crafted statements designed to minimize damage. Coleman's decision to speak authentically about a complex situation demonstrated a different approach to public life. His words also highlighted the challenge of maintaining relationships in the public eye, where every conflict becomes headline news and every response is analyzed for hidden meanings. The pressure to present perfect relationships while dealing with real human problems creates impossible standards that few couples can meet. The athletics world continues to watch how Richardson and Coleman's relationship evolves following this public test. Their ability to compete at the highest level while working through personal challenges will influence how future athlete couples handle similar situations. Coleman's stunning response to Richardson's arrest ultimately revealed more about modern relationships, forgiveness, and personal growth than anyone expected from a simple Instagram video. His willingness to choose grace over judgment, mercy over punishment, and love over self-protection challenged conventional wisdom about how public figures should respond to controversy.